Are salvation, going to heaven, and forgiveness of sins the same thing?
Well, I mean, when you get into Scripture, we can put the Old and New Testaments together, there is almost an endless number of metaphors, descriptors, ways in which salvation is expressed. And different Christian traditions kind of latch on to certain ones of them. But if you look at this, all the Bible, there's just this amazing array of forgiveness of sins. Yeah, absolutely. Is that equal to salvation? It's an absolutely essential core part of it. What was the other one? Going to heaven.
Yes.
Is going to heaven. Well, if by that we mean not Plato's fairy world, but actually to God's, the place where God will rule and reign, absolutely. That's part of the salvation. That's the existence for eternity. But then it doesn't stop there. Being liberated from sin, being set free from the power of the devil. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's almost like this multi-sided diamond, salvation. I think salvation is sort of the core idea, and you can look at all the ways in which salvation can be understood, expressed, its implications. It's just endless. Those are two of the ways that salvation is expressed. But what that suggests is that we've got to be very clear with the New Testament that salvation is not simply a single-tensed word.
Yes.
Salvation comes with three tenses: past, present, and future. And so Paul will say, I have been saved, past. Paul will say in 1 Corinthians 1:18, I am being saved, ongoing present. And he'll say, we will be saved in the future. And I think for a lot of us, we love that past word. I was saved on January 17th, 1973, when I prayed the sinner's prayer. But no one, at least rarely in evangelical Christianity, do people talk about the fact that I am today being saved. Because that would mean I'd have to look at my life now and ask the question, as Greg just said, is it not just some certificate I had back in 73, but is my life today reflecting an ongoing covenant relationship with Jesus Christ? Now, that doesn't mean today I'm perfect, but is there a direction, as Greg said, to my life that's headed in a marriage-like direction with Jesus? If not, are we just really looking for fire insurance from something that happened 20 years ago? That's the thing we can fall into if we're not clear about the multi-dimensions of this thing called salvation.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Not to beat a dead horse, but
go ahead.
It kind of goes back to the whole, do you see it as a court of law or marriage thing? Because if you're seeing a court of law, then salvation is being acquitted. And that's all you care about. So you say this in his prayer and then done. And that's why we see in all the polls that there's this massive disjunct between people's profession of faith and their life. Their life reflects very little difference from just Americanville. Whereas if you see it in the marriage context, which is, I think, the really organic way of looking at it in the Bible, it's of course it's not just about the end. In fact, it's not primarily about the end. It's about here and now. It's about the road that we're traversing. Heaven and hell are simply the end games of the destinies of the road we're on. And the Bible's all about changing the roads. And the fact that this one leads to destruction, or however you want to spin it, that is, the important thing is that the road you're on is leading there. So get off the road, not try to do some illegal deal to change consequences.
Yeah.